Hi folks, Kevin here. Well, it's Thursday, June 29th, 2017, and today, actually yesterday, I responded to a Craigslist ad for some perennial flowers that were being given away. The ad came up on Craigslist 3 days ago, and fortunately for me, no one responded to it, but I wasn't able to respond because I'd hurt my ankle at that time. Yesterday, my ankle was good enough where I could get out and go over to meet this lovely lady and see some of the plants she was giving away. So she was giving away some strawberries and some irises. So we spent some time together, and I brought home some irises, not too many, but it'll add to our sections of irises around the property. And she had quite a few strawberries. Now this has been an unusually cool and wet season all over central New York, and as a result, her low spot, actually the area that the strawberries were in, was a very low spot on her property where water would accumulate. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you. So we got a few trays, 2 pails over here of strawberries, and I put some soil in it. It was still pretty warm and sunny yesterday, so I'll probably lose some of these plants. Here's another one. You can see these brown spots. It has been consumed a little bit by some insects, but because of the moist area on the property, the location that these came from, there's some fungal disease as well. So here's another tray. Here's some of the soil that we use for our broccoli microgreens and all. I just covered up as much of the soil. I left some of the soil clumps on the area. They haven't become desiccated, so dried out. But what I'm going to try and do is get these planted. I turned on the drip irrigation system a little while ago to try and soak the area. I'll be planting these right along the drip lines and try to get them right at the crown level where they came up. So basically, right at this point here is you don't want to bury them any deeper than that spot, and you don't want them sticking up out of the soil because the roots will get exposed and they won't survive. So we'll see how things go. If 50% of these plants survive, that would be fantastic. Hopefully I'm not introducing a problem with the thickened stem. I split one open yesterday. I'll take another close look at it before I stick them in the ground here to make sure that there aren't any obvious parasites or such as nematodes or larvae within those swollen spots. So I'll take a good close look at those as well. So here we go. Let's see how things go. So what's the chances of success with transplanting the strawberries at the end of June in summer here? Not very good. But I thought it was worthwhile because the price was right. I had some time because of my ankle injury that I could go over, spend some time getting these out of the ground and give them a shot. Now, I've transplanted strawberries in the past in the summertime, and I had about a 5% success, which really says don't spend your time doing it. But I thought I'd try modifying things a little bit this time. But what's working against me? Number one, I pulled the plants out of the ground yesterday just after noon. Now it's, I don't know, I'm guessing it's 8-9 o'clock in the morning now, and it was hot yesterday and sunny, but I put the plants in the bins as you saw, had them in the garage. What else is working against it? Well, the weeds were obviously, the plants were obviously stressed. They have fungal disease. That's something that's an opportunistic infection. That's all those spots that I showed before on the leaves. And if they get through their survival mode, they'll do just fine. They were still producing, a lot of them were producing strawberries right there in the field. What else was working against them? Well, these strawberries were runners that got out into the walkway, and they were in rock dust and very shallow area and really couldn't dig down very deep. So a lot of the root mass was destroyed during the time of removing the plants from the ground. The same thing in the area that had a weed mat down. What she had done is she had placed one of those geotextile weed mats down that you put wood chips over it, and it might have been fairly thick, the amount of wood chips that she had put on. And the strawberries went down, and a lot of the little rootlets worked their way through the weed mat, and they spread out laterally, but a lot of those got ripped right off when we're pulling them out of the ground. Some of them were fortunate enough they came out with chunks of soil. Those are the ones that'll probably almost definitely survive if I can keep them watered. So they're, number one, wrong time of year to transplant strawberries. And they already had a berry load, so they're spending all their energy into the flowers and berry production. So not a good thing. Stressed, they had been in a low-lying area, more moist than usual because of this unusual spring and early summer, and therefore as a result were susceptible to an opportunistic fungal infection. And during the transport, destroyed a lot of the roots. They didn't get into the ground immediately, didn't get watered. I covered the roots with some of the soil that we use for growing all our microgreens. So, I just found another weed here. So, what's the odds that these plants will make it? Not great. If I get 25% of the ones that we just transplanted now, I'll be pretty pleased. More than that, fantastic. But I have to prepare myself for this, and I need to do more watering, and I need to go through and actually start clipping off, make sure all berries are off, all flowers are off, make sure all runners are cut off, because the mother plant itself, the main plant, needs to recover. So can't be looking for any runners right now for increasing the number of strawberry plants there. We just need the plants that we just transplanted to try and survive, if at all possible. I should also go through and see how many of the leaves are standing up, how many are laying down, and all. Go through, make sure I get all the other flowering stems, any of the runners off again, prune off any leaves that are laying down. So I need to get my small little bypass pruners out and go through and do that. I need to do probably 2 to 4 watering cycles per day. Hopefully, as you can see, as the cloud cover, we're supposed to get rain. This is about a 55% chance of rain today. Who knows? But there's a lot of transpiration, water loss through all that leaf mass, and the roots aren't able to, the tiny little rootlets that come off the roots that are visible have been disturbed and destroyed. So that's where we're at in this situation. I'm not expecting this bed to look fantastic in 2 weeks' time. I'm looking forward to it, to maybe 25% of the plants or more potentially surviving with some more effort on my part. I can't just set the water timer and have it water once a day and expect things to turn out. So I thought I'd take you along on this little adventure. We also got some irises. They'll go in other areas on the property as well. And I've established a relationship with this very nice woman. She may give me a call and say, you know what, I've got some of these shade-loving plants over here and I'm ready to change this part of the garden. Would you like to come and get some of those plants? So that's another wonderful aspect of what we're doing. So we had a really good exchange yesterday. I got the plants out of as a result as well, with a chance that they'll make it. So I hope this information was helpful. If it was, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. And feel free to ask questions and leave comments. I do appreciate it. Well, thanks so much for watching, folks. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.